Y'all gonna have to bear with me today, man. I'm not feeling my best. I don't know. I don't know what it is I ate, but I'm not feeling good. I basically was up all night, keep running to the bathroom. And that's why I was like, fuck it today. I'm like, shit. Man, last night was a night. And it's just been some crazy stuff this week too. So, I'm like, I'm not feeling my best. And so I was like, I'm just gonna get some stuff done, and I'm going to I'm gonna take my butt back to sleep. So I'm gonna talk about some spells, but I'm not really gonna really go in depth. Um, I don't like going in depth about how I do my spell work because shit, you don't want nobody to take your information and use it against you. You be like, what the fuck? Uh, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still, the ashe and stuff people is putting into it. Everybody have different measures of ashe. Y'all gonna have to excuse me today. I'm sorry. I whenever I have on Vicks Vapor Rub, it's so irritating having a shirt or some on top of it because it's so sticky and so heavy. And so whenever I have on Vicks Vapor Rub, I hate wearing a shirt. I hate wearing a shirt whenever I got on Vicks Vapor Rub because I always put it on my chest and I put it right under my nose. Ugh. And so it's so irritating. So the main thing that I want to teach you is that whenever you're doing an uncrossing, that you're removing magic and stuff that people have sent to you, make sure that you do a reversal, a go back to sender as well. Both of those are done at the same time. Sometimes people just say, well, I just do a return to sender. But what about an uncrossing? Have you uncrossed yet? Have you uncrossed? Have you uncrossed all of the energy? Um, it works the same. It don't work the same. Those are two completely different things. And so uncrossing is uncrossing your path, opening your doors again, unblocking all of your chakras. A return to sender is just sending them the energy back, but it's not undoing the damage that was done. And so that's the difference between the two. You want to undo the damage that was done while at the same time returning it back to sender. And so it's a balance between the two. And so sometimes we don't see the results we want to see because we don't complete the cycle. We don't complete the circle. And so, you know, and we'll say all the time, well, I paid for the spiritualist to do this, and the spiritualist probably did the work. That it's like, oh, I paid a spiritualist to do a return to sender, and the energy went back to sender. But you still never uncrossed. You never uncrossed all of the energy that was done to you, all of the damage that that magic did while it was in your life. Give me 1 minute. Sorry, splitting up mucus. Again, for everybody that joined, sorry, this is about to be a shirtless video. Last night I end up, well, it really started before last night. I was trying to push through it yesterday, but I had a bug, look, sickness bug trying to get rid of it. And so, man, last night was horrible. Stayed up all last night, running to the bathroom. Use your own imagination. So you better be glad I got on pants, because I really didn't want to have on pants either. And so thank God that I mustered up the courage to put on pants. So, last night was just crazy. Last night I was really sick. And so, this morning and last night I put on Vicks Vapor Rub. Whenever I have on Vicks Vapor Rub, I'm sorry guys, I don't like wearing stuff on top of Vicks. If you know, Vicks Vapor Rub is so thick. It's so, and I just don't like how when you put on a shirt or a tank top on it, it starts seeking in, and it's like it's stuff. Whenever I have on Vicks Vapor Rub, I'm good. I normally put it on my chest, on my neck, and then right under my nose. So I rub it in my mustache. So, but I'm just getting ready to do this, and then I'm getting ready to go back to bed. I got to get me some sleep. I really got to get some rest today. But today we're talking about uncrossing and um, uncrossing and reversal. Sending it back to sender. Those are two completely different things. And honestly, crossing and uncrossing is two different things, because while you uncross, which means you're uncrossing the magic and stuff that was done to you, you're opening your chakras back, you're opening your doors, you can cross the very person that crossed you. And so one side you can do uncrossing, the other side you can do a crossing that you cross everything in their life and then see how they feel. But most people don't realize that you can do that. When you go to the crossroad, you can do either or. You can cross somebody up or you can uncross. It's either or. That's the power of the crossroad. And so, ugh. I'm gonna take some uncrossing oil. And I'm going to take some High John Conqueror oil. Why Spirit was telling me to grab this one when I got another one that is fully open that I have been using, nobody knows. But I'm going to be obedient to Spirit. So I always get something to hold my candles, and on it I always write sigils. It's the sigils of what I'm looking for, of what I want, or what I'm trying to cross in that person's life. Like if I'm purposely trying to fuck with that person, love, am I purposely trying to fuck with this person's money? You write that sigil. You write the sigil on here where it's like, stop fucking with me and stop sending me shit, bitch. All right. So because these are two completely different things, these are two completely different things, and you don't want the energies to cross. You do not want them to cross. They're gonna be on the same thing because it's a balancing act. Is you're doing both simultaneously. That I'm uncrossing me, that I'm sending the shit back to the person that sent it to me. Both is being done at the same time. They're balancing on here, but you don't want them to cross with your works, with your hands. And so in between, you must wash your hands. And not only do you need to clean, but you need to cleanse. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and get this energy off my hands. All right. Now since I got that off of my hand, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cleanse now. So I'm gonna take some Florida water. I'm gonna go ahead and rub it over my hands. I'm gonna rub the back of my neck. And so, boom, the one side is done. So this side is to uncross. So uncrossing is done. I completed my uncrossing side. Uncross is done. And now it's like uncrossing is to uncrossing is just to undo the damage that was done. That's what uncrossing is. It's undoing the damage that was done. It's, unblocking your chakras. It's opening your doors again. Because this is the importance of both. What is the point of a return to sender if you have returned the magic back to this person, but your doors are still closed? Your chakras are still blocked. You still feel as if the person is attacking you because you sent the energy back, but you never opened your doors back. You never unblocked your chakras. And so both must be done simultaneously. At the same time, they both must be done, that as you uncross, you must also return it back to sender, because it's vice versa. What is the point of uncrossing yourself if the energy is still present? What is the point of removing, what is the point of opening your doors and opening windows and opening your chakras and stuff again if you know what I'm saying, if it's still there, if the energy is still there, if you're still marinating in somebody else's energy? And so uncrossing is done. Now it's time to send some bitches a lesson. And so that's what this one is for. This one is all about teaching a lesson where it's like, bitch, don't come for me. Don't come for me unless you were sent for it. We want to get it some fiery in here, some cayenne pepper. I want to bring some confusion with some poppy seeds. I want to bring some mental issues with some celery seeds. I want to bring success to the ritual and enhance everything I'm doing with rosemary. And I want to knock this person out mentally with black pepper. That should be it. So the one thing that I want to stress is please don't think, please don't think that this is a one and done. When somebody when somebody is doing magic on you, this is not going to be a one and done. Don't think that you only have to do this one time and everything is just done. Everything is going to magically work itself out. Sometimes, the majority of the time with magic, you have to do this at least for 7 days, at least for 3 to 7 days. And the stuff is not hard. Honestly, majority of us, the reason why we don't see change is that we're so damn lazy. Honestly, that's what it is. I'm gonna talk to you the same way my ancestors talk to me. My ancestors tell me the same thing, that when I don't want to do stuff and stuff like that, they like, boy, if you don't get your lazy ass up. They like, if you don't get your lazy ass up and do what it is that you need to do. My ancestors have told me that plenty of times, that I've been in the bed moping and crying and stuff like that. And my ancestors is like, nigga, if you don't get your motherfucking ass up and do some rituals to bring about a change, like, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass and I'm gonna be the one doing witchcraft against you. Some of our ancestors, they don't play. Especially when it's something that's on the brink of like life or death, or a very significant and strong change in our lives. Something that can really make us, go through a lot of obstacles for like the next couple of years or next couple of months. They don't play about stuff like that. And so they'll try to remind you of the importance. Make sure that's going to stay. And so, but the candles is just the first part. The candles, I can teach you, is so much more stuff that go to it, but the rest of it is Ifa. This is just typical hoodoo. Just typical hoodoo right here, using your herbs and stuff like that. And you got to make sure that you're giving thanks to your herbs as you are using your herbs. Make sure that you are giving thanks to them, because everything has a spirit in it. The herbs has a spirit in it. It's the spirit of earth. The candles have a spirit in it. It's the spirit of fire. When you recite your psalms to go with this, that is a spirit in that, which is the spirit of wind. And then, of course, your offerings, you should always at least be given a cup of water. And so with that water is the spirit of water. And so we want to make sure that, we're honoring and acknowledging the spirits as well. And I'm going to do a class teaching you guys divination. I don't know how much I'm going to charge for the class and stuff yet, but I beg all of you, please learn divination. You don't have to learn divination on the scale that you're doing divination for everybody else. You need to learn the basics of divination so that when you're doing a ritual, you can do the cards to see if this is going to be successful or not. So that you can see how this is going to hit. You can see if you need to do the ritual or not. Because if the cards is telling you that they got a lot of things protecting them, then this might not be the time, baby. You might want to wait. But regardless, whether they got a lot of things, protecting them or not, if this is in the name of justice, that they purposely sent you something, then it don't matter. They can have anybody on their side and it's still going to hit because they were in the wrong. But I think that everybody needs to learn the basics of divination. You don't have to go so deep in it, but you need to learn the basics where it's like, if you're having problems on a job that you're pulling out the cards and seeing what's the best outcome. You know, that you're using this as a tool of communication to communicate with your ancestors, because that's what tarot cards is for. Tarot cards is for Igun, spirit guides, and ancestors. And so we need to learn the basics of divination. And so I'm gonna eventually end up putting like a 12-week course or something on my website so that you all can learn divination. But it is very important. Make sure that you're learning divination. Divination is extremely important. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is how you do a return to sender and an uncrossing. Both must be done, in the very same light. And then, no, it's funny. I don't know why I always got to get on the ignorant ass Christians in the comments, because they are the dumbest people in the world. Christians are the dumbest. Christians are the dumbest out of all the religions. And I'm only talking about the Christians, not necessarily because they're ignorant and they're in my chat. I'm talking about the Christians because of what's happening in California. And so, it's a tragedy of what's happening in California, all of the fires and everything like that. And if you notice that when all of this stuff happened, the first group to try to talk about it and say what's going on is always the first group that speak up on everything. And that's the ignorant ass Christians. Christians are so ignorant. Christians are so dumb. And it's like they do not have the light of God. And so when the fires first start happening, the first thing that they said, that this was God punishing California. This was God punishing California because I guess in one of the award shows, somebody mentioned something about God, where one of the comedians basically said, when people gave their acknowledgement speech, and this is just paraphrasing because I don't remember it word from word. But she was saying that when people were giving their acknowledgement speech, that, 15 people said they thanked their mother. 20 people said that they thanked their father. And then, 10 people said that they thanked their uncle. And she was like, 0 people thanked God. Nothing was said about God. Nobody mocked God. Nobody laughed at God. The only thing that was mentioned at the award was 0 people acknowledged God. That's all it was. That's the only thing that was said at the award. And the next thing you know, the Christians, the most ignorant group, started posting all of these videos and stuff and saying that the fires and everything in California is all because God is mad at them because of their wickedness and by keep using his name in vain. How is his name used in vain? Listen, when we do ignorant shit like that and we speak on behalf of God, first you need to ask yourself, am I coming from a human perspective, or am I coming with enlightenment that came directly from God? Because if God is that sensitive, if your God is that sensitive that he is going to burn down a town because it was said that 0 people acknowledged him, I'm sorry, but I don't want to serve your God. I don't want to serve a God that has the same emotional capacity as you. If your God has the same emotional capacity as you, that he is able to be a toddler and go into a tantrum because nobody mentioned his name, That's not the God I want to serve. Because see, my goal is to get closer and closer to his likeness. My goal is to be a direct reflection of who he is. And if you're able to go into tantrums and to destroy things as you see fit, then why am I striving to be perfect when you're immature? Why am I striving to be this level of a good example if you can easily go off the handles like this? If I gotta calm God down and say, please God, please calm down, that's not what they meant, and God doesn't have the ability to do that, I'm sorry, but that's not the God that I want to serve. And this is why I say it's so many people that speak for God, but majority of you that speak for God, you need to shut the fuck up because you make God look so immature and weak. You take this awesome God that knows all, that sees all, that is all, and you bring him down to a weakly earthly level when you say the ignorant things that you say. Keep God's name out of your mouth. If you did not directly get this message from God, keep God's name out of your mouth. Stop saying, thus saith the Lord, and God is like, I don't even know you. I never talked to you. But some of you make God look so weak. Everybody is, oh, you don't want to blaspheme the name of the Lord and all of this other stuff. Do you not realize you blaspheme the name of the Lord every time you say, thus saith the Lord, and God never spoke to you and it was just your emotions? God don't need us to go for his defense. It said that this nigga probes all of our hearts. The God that know how to probe every last one of our hearts. The God that knows the very number of hairs that we have on our head. If this God is that powerful, why the fuck do he need me to defend him? If God is offended, if God want to make his voice known, God knows how to make his voice known. In the days of Abraham, it was said that God directly gave the people a dream and said, you better not sleep with Sarah. And if this is a God that can give dreams to the people that he feel is offending him or he feel that he needs to give a message to, why do we think that it's anything different in this time? God do not need these flawed humans to deliver messages on his behalf. God know how to use the animals. God know how to use the numbers. God know how to meet you in your dream state. This is a God that knows how to get your attention, that he do not need a weak human in order to deliver a message for him. Keep that in mind. Just really keep that in mind. And then, the craziest thing about this, and this is the craziest thing ever, is the very people that is saying that God is punishing California are the very ones that's going out there with the gas and lighting everything up and blaming it on God. Those are the very ones that is going out there and burning the cities down and blaming it on God and saying that this is an act of God. Baby, if this was an act of God, God wouldn't have to use gas. God can use the lightnings. God knows how to destroy towns. Have we not read that in the Bible? I don't think God is new to destroying towns. He don't need humans for help. And, y'all, that is one of the craziest things about religion, is that I would not be surprised if everybody that's out there is Christians. All the Christians, burn this motherfucker down because they mentioned God. Burn this motherfucker down to the ground. We finna show them. Religious groups are the most dangerous. Religious groups is really the most dangerous because they will murder, they will kill in the name of God and have no remorse. They will have no remorse at the damage that has been done because in their hearts and in their minds, they are really thinking that they are doing the will of God. They are really thinking that what they did is really the will of God. And it's very sick. People that are, it's one thing to believe in what you believe in. But when people take it to the extreme, those are the ones that you need to worry about the most. When people are taking it to the extreme, like you will never catch me on a live or following someone that my spiritual beliefs doesn't align with them. You'll never catch me following them. You'll never catch me interacting with them because it's like, what's the point? We think differently. But that would be very extreme for me to go on somebody else's live and it's like, fuck your God, it's all about Ifa. That's really extreme. And that's the person that you really want to look out for the most. Because when people go into that type of psychosis, it's a matter of time before they do something extreme for their God or what they perceive is their God. Because majority of the time, what they perceive as God is the very thing that they say they hate the most, which is the devil. Because you got to ask yourself, there's a complete difference between God and the devil. And you see this in almost every religion. Jesus said that when somebody doesn't accept my message, dust the sand from off of your sandals and leave them, depart from them. If they don't want to accept it, it's fine. So we got what God says, but the devil, on the other hand, everything that the devil has done in the Bible, when you actually look at the story, it has always been to manipulate. It has always been to deceive. It's always been to trick. And it's always been to kill, steal, and destroy. So when we see these extreme Christians getting on people's page and forcing people to believe their ways, which path are they taking? Are they taking Jesus' route, where Jesus said, dust the sand off your sandals and just move on? Or are they taking the route of the devil, that they are like, no, fuck this. You're going to believe in what it is that I believe. And if I got to kill, steal, and destroy in order for you to believe this, then that is what's going to be done. It's so many so-called Christians that is being influenced by the devil, that is being, that is under just the hugest psychosis, where it's like, you're not following what your creator have told you whatsoever. You're contradicting the very thing that the word says. The word says that we are not supposed to be fighting against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against rulers of darkness and heavenly places. And so why do we get on platforms that has nothing to do with your God? And it's like, you're not following the very person that you said you were following. You know, when you really look at how Paul was changed, Paul done killed all these Christians. Paul done killed them all. And never once did Jesus harass, bully, manipulate, deceive Paul at all. He allowed Paul to continue to do what he was doing until Paul was ready in his heart to change. And the moment that Paul was ready in his heart to change, it was just like that, night and day. And that's when he changed. And that's what we have to realize in a lot of sense. We got to realize this when it comes to respecting each other's religions and spiritual paths. And we got to respect this in relationships as well. That everything is all about divine timing. We cannot push our will and our timing on someone else. Everything will be done in divine timing if it's the Lord's will. If it's the Lord's will, then it shall be done. But if it's not the Lord's will, it's not going to be done. But we must wait and do things when it comes to the Lord. The Lord is the one that has the final say so. And so, it's crazy that, but I can honestly understand why, and this is just a fact for me that, the reasons why, Christians are the dumbest when it comes to all of the religions is because they are the only ones that don't study. The Christians have one thing to study, and that is the Bible. And so many of them have not read that Bible from beginning to end. And not only that, it's like they know no scripture word from word. That if something was to happen, they can start reciting scriptures. You have one Bible to read. You have one Bible to read. That's it. You have one Bible to study and show thyself approved. And the only time you open that thing is on Sunday when you go to church, and you barely go to Bible study. At least with Bible study, you will have 2 times that it was open. And you don't even see it as a daily word. You have hoodoo practitioners knowing the Bible better than you because they use the Bible as their spell book, and specifically the Psalms. You have Ifa, hoodoo, voodoo, everybody knowing the Bible better than the Christians because they look at it through a different lens. They don't look at it at the same lens as the Christians. Like, for example, one of the most powerful things that you can say after your rituals, instead of keep saying amen, it's in the Bible. It's scriptures and stuff in the Bible that you can use. So are the words that I put out in the universe. It shall come back to me, and it will not come back to me empty, but it will accomplish what I sent it out to do. Ashe. And so it's just crazy that the very Christians that when you actually have a conversation with them, you will notice how they don't know any word. They don't know any word. They don't know any word at all. And it's like, come on, you got one assignment. You got one Bible. We got the Bible. We got all of these rituals we got to learn. We got ceremonies we got to learn. We got the painted keys that we got to read and know. Like, we got so much more stuff outside of the Bible. You have one book, and it's saying all of the information you need is in this one book. We have multiple books and multiple resources and teachers, and still don't, and still got more stuff to read once we get done with one thing. And so it's just crazy that it's like, baby, you got one book and you haven't mastered this. That's kind of crazy. That's some crazy work. That's some crazy work to not one book. You can read that book in a year. There's so many Bible apps of reading the Bible in a year. My mother used to force us to read the Bible every single year. We would read the Bible in a year. That every last one of her kids have read the Bible from beginning to end multiple times. And so we got to learn, like the psychological damage to Christians is just out of this world. It's out of this world crazy. They are the first. Every time when something happened, they are the first to scream it from the rooftops, and they're loud and wrong. Half of the time when the Christians speak first, they are loud and wrong. And I'm like, no, where did we get this from? Just loud and wrong. I mean, they were the first ones that spoke out about this California thing before anybody knew that it was actually people that was setting the house on fire. The first thing they did, thus saith the Lord, I am a prophet of God. This is God's wrath that is on California. This is God's wrath. And then days later, we find out, oh, this is not God's wrath. This is not God's wrath. This is man doing what man always do. Man is wicked as hell. Man is so wicked. Man is one of the most wicked things that you will ever see and experience on this earth. Y'all always talking about the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. Forget the devil. It's like the worst thing of all is man. It is said that, the Tower of Babel, that it was man that decided to go up to the heavens. To go up to the heavens and kill God. That it was man that decided that. And we put so much blame on the devil. Man is the most evil and wicked thing. And this is why we're going through all of the things we're going through now. It's not because of a devil that don't have the same power as God. If the devil had the same power as God, that he was all seeing, he was all knowing, he could be at all places at all times, then I would say, okay, yeah, you know what? It is the devil, because the devil is God's equal. If that was true, I would say, yeah, now that makes sense. But if you are saying that God is all seeing, God is all knowing, God is all present, God is the all in all, and the devil is nothing but an angel, and he's not God, and he's not all seeing, and he's not all knowing, and he's not all present, and he's not all in all, and this was only an angel over beauty and worship. How did that compare? How does that compare? How would that even be? How would that even be any type of influence for God? Like, that's not even a fight. It seemed like the only thing God got to do is fart and the devil is dead. Like, how is that a fight? How is that balance in any way? That's no balance. That's no balance at all. And that is the difference between religion and spiritual path. Religion focus too much on the devil, give the devil too much power, Y'all talk about the devil so much you don't even realize by keep allowing it to come out your mouth that you are literally worshiping him and you are bringing him into existence. You are giving him the power that he so desperately needs and wants. Spiritual paths, we focus on God. That's the only thing you hear us say. We focus on how big God is. We focus on how God is all-seeing, all-knowing, all-present, the all in all, the final say. There is nothing that can get past God. And so while you spend so much time focusing on the devil, and every time I hear a Christian speak, you know every goddamn demon in hell. How are you so familiar with demons? We know every Orisha. We know every angel. We know every spirit. We know every ancestor. But y'all know every demon. Every time I hear a Christian person speak, and this is the devil of so and so, and this is the devil of so and so, and this is the demon of so and so. How are y'all so familiar with demons? Did y'all go to demonology school or something? You know so many demons that it's kind of scary. It's like, are you summoning these demons? The Bible speak about this, about familiar spirits. Like, I'm sorry, but my spirits only know Orishas. My spirit only know angels. My spirit only know ancestors. It would be a huge problem if my spirit start telling me, oh, that's the demon of chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna be like, okay, wait a minute. Why the fuck do you know this demon? Like, when have you been linking up with this demon and you know this demon by name? But it's crazy to know all of the demons, all of the fallen angels, that you know everything that it has to do with wickedness, but you know nothing about righteousness. You know nothing about goodness. You know nothing about the blessings. All we know is the wrath of God and demons. Is something wrong with your psyche? Is something wrong with your psyche when that is the only thing you know and that is the only thing that you can comprehend? It is something wrong with your psyche. Why do we only know these things? Why do we only know this? Y'all better get out of here with this demon talk. Like, y'all act like these demons are Pokemon. Like you gotta catch them all. You know every goddamn demon. And it's like a collectible item to you. Where it's like, oh yeah, I faced the demon of Sha. Sorry, y'all. I'm recovering from a sickness. But it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I will never understand Christianity. How they know so much about the devil and so little about God. And they literally reflect the characteristics of the devil to kill, steal, and destroy, but they do not even know the characteristics of God. They don't know about the fruit of the Spirit and how to possess it. One of the spirits that you're supposed to have is the spirit of control. That you got to learn how to control your mouth. You got to know when to walk away. And how many people actually possess that? Not too many. We engage in all types of BS that we know that's not good for our spirit and that's not good for our health. But everybody, just please, let's not be around here catching demons like Pokemon. Let's not be around here catching demons like Pokemon. Let's leave that to the Christians. The Christians can have fun with that. As for us, what did the Bible say? As for me and my family, as for me and my family, we gonna serve the Lord. No, I'm gonna let y'all have that demon and devil shit. But for me and my family, we gonna serve the Lord. No, I don't got no time to learn about all these goddamn demons that's been attacking you and your family, that you have been so comfortable with them that you know their name. Like, baby, the only thing I'm gonna tell you is Obatala, Yemaya, Oshun, Olakun, Ajay. Even if we want to stick with Christianity, I'm gonna teach you about Michael. I'm gonna teach you about Raphael. I'm not gonna teach you about all of these demons that you just so happen to know, like y'all related. Like y'all went to a family reunion and all of the demons was like, hey, I'm tobacco back. I'm the demon of financial chaos. And you like, oh, hey, tobacco back. I'm Stephanie. This is my family. Oh, man. Y'all learning these demons be tripping me out. Boy, y'all learning these demons. Jesus didn't even know demons, y'all. Jesus, when have you seen Jesus just acknowledge these demons and stuff like that? They feared him. They didn't have time to introduce themselves to Jesus and give Jesus their name. They ran and they said, nigga, throw me in the pig. It's not time yet. They didn't have time to do an exclusive interview to see how many kids they got. Y'all know too much shit about demons and claim to be of the light. Too much stuff. Too much stuff about demons. But let's stay in light. Let's stay in light. Let's stay in love. Again, for the people that's just joining, I'm getting over. I was sick last night. I had a bug. Hopefully this thing push out today, whatever it is. So, I did the whole 9 yards of Vicks Vapor Rub and stuff on my chest, under my nose and stuff. And whenever I have on Vicks Vapor Rub, I don't like shirts and tank tops on top. The stuff is already sticky. If you get on Vicks Vapor Rub, it's very thick and sticky, and it sticks to your clothes and stuff. And I just hate that feeling. I can do it when I'm asleep because I'm asleep, so it don't bother me. But when I'm up, I don't like having on shirts and stuff when I got on Vicks Vapor Rub. So no, it's just not for me. You be mature, move past it. It's just the body. If you're not mature enough to move past the body, you really shouldn't be on social media at all. Delete all of your social media. But yeah, y'all, the main thing of this is just, talking about, there's a balance. There's a balance when it comes to, majority of these rituals. If you're going to uncross, you need to also send back. If you're going to send back, you need to uncross. It's the same way with love. If you're doing love, a love spell to bring love in, love is not about controlling somebody. And I really wish that when we talk about love spells, people would stop mixing a domination spell with love spells. Those are two completely different things. Love is free will. A love spell is you literally taking a piece of paper and you're writing characteristics of what you're looking for. I'm looking for, let's say, for some of you women, I'm looking for a man that's gonna provide, that's gonna be a protector, that's gonna make money, that's gonna put me first, that's gonna love me, that's gonna cherish me, that's going to be the head of household, that's gonna lead me in the right direction. That is a love spell, and you're literally it's different sides to it because you got to keep going. Clockwise. It's this way. You're going clockwise because every four corners you. The first one is just writing a description of everything that you're looking for. It's no name. It's no name. It's not saying you're bringing a specific person in. It's only characteristics of what you're looking for. And once you complete it to the four sides, you're putting a red candle on top, a pink candle on top, or a white candle on top. And you're going to light that thing and you're going to recite Psalms 24 and Psalms 25. It has nothing to do with taking away somebody's free will and trapping them. That is a domination spell. That is a control spell. And control spells are completely different. Control spells don't even follow the same color. That's what a black candle or a gray candle. Love spells is red, pink, or white. Stop mixing those two together. Ooh, look, it's saying 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. So stop mixing those two together. I don't know what, it's like, that's the one thing I hate about social media is that we don't know how to think for ourselves. It's like the first person that comments, everybody else just mimic their comment. If the first person says something like, oh, look at that nigga trying to control somebody, everybody else just lose their minds and act like they don't know how to think and act like they don't have free will to think their own thing, and everybody follow it behind it. Oh yeah, nigga trying to trap Beyonce. Next thing you know, Kelly and Michelle gonna be joining them in a polygamy relationship. Oh yeah, and they probably gonna get the other two girls that fell off from Destiny Child too. Oh yeah, that love spell finna get the whole game back together, married to one man. And it's like everybody is just so goddamn dumb. Everybody gotta follow the first comment. Use your intelligence. Stop being so quick to just automatically just think what the other person thought. Use your own mind, use your own discernment, use your own wisdom, use your own knowledge, use the own spirit that is in you. You don't have to mimic or imitate anybody. We have spirit inside of us. We have spirit. Use your own thoughts. It's so many things that has a bad rep now, and it's all because when people didn't want to think, they just allowed one person philosophy to rule over everything. Love spells have gotten such a bad rep. Everybody thinking that it's just control, control, control. It is not control. A love spell is for that person that is sitting at home, that's depressed, that has no hope, thinking that love will never come back to you again, thinking that love is not in the cards for you, that you have been passed over time and time again, thinking that you're not going to find that husband, thinking that you are not going to find that wife. That's when you do the love ritual. The love ritual, it cleanses the heart chakra. It removes the blockages and everything from the heart chakra, and it takes your vibration from here and makes it skyrocket. Then it creates a beacon of light for you. Remember, have you noticed? Let me explain it this way. Have you noticed that whenever you are in a relationship, you get offers from everywhere. You get offers from the four corners. You get offers from the north, south, east, and west. But whenever you're not in a relationship, you barely get any offers. And that's because of where your vibration is. When you are in a relationship, you like, shit, I'm good. I got my man, I got my woman. And because of that, your vibration is rising so much that when people see and feel that vibration, they like, oh, hey, you cute. What's your name? And now everybody in your DMs. And if you're smart, you would write them back and say, I'm sorry, but I'm in a relationship and you're not going to fuck up what you got just because people is getting hot and bothered. But when you are single, for some of us, you're dealing with so much hurt and pain. You're dealing with all of the shit that you've been through in that relationship that your vibrations are so low that it's when people see you, they may see your external beauty, but they don't feel your vibration. They don't feel that warm energy of the embrace of love. And that's why sometimes people just pass us by. And so, what the love spell do, the love spell take you that when you are at this state, when your vibrations are low, the love spells does nothing but increase your vibration as if it were when you were in a relationship. And now when that vibration is lifted and you're vibrating higher, you're going to start noticing that a lot of people is going to be like, hey, cutie, what's your name? What you doing? And that's the difference. A love spell is not a dominating spell. You'll know, and trust me, when you do a love spell, you don't know where this person is going to come from. That you could do a love spell saying, I want this, and that. Don't be surprised when you get met with a challenge. And now out of the blue, you're staying in the United States and you end up getting hit up by somebody in the UK. And now you guys are talking and you fall in love just like that. But the challenge is distance. Who's going to move? Especially with being in two different countries. And so that is a love spell. A love spell, it's going to take everything that you put on that piece of paper and it's going to move that energy in the universe to see who will fit this bill. And the person that fit that bill, that person might not be in your state. They might not be in your city. They might not be in your state. They might not even be in your country. But you better believe when that thing manifests, it's going to give you exactly what you asked for, but it's going to be up to you to put everything together. They gave you the person in the UK. Now it's up to you to build that relationship with this person, and then you guys decide which one is going to move. Somebody said they might not even be alive. You just ignorant. That's so fucking dumb. I think that was just a joke. That's so fucking. I don't know that it got my attention. Most comments don't get my attention. Most comments don't get my attention. I really don't look at the comments like that. I just so happen to look at the comment, and this nigga said the person might not be alive. That's so fucking dumb. That's so damn dumb. That is so funny. That is so damn funny. That person said the person might not even be alive. Oh my God. That is so dumb. I like that. Oh yeah, fuck that. Fuck being in a different country. Like the person might not even be alive. They might be in Canada dead. Oh my God. That is so funny. That is funny. No, it's that is the one thing that I love about that's one of the things I do love about social media at times. Some people are so funny that they know the exact moment of when to insert a comment. Some people are just ignorant, but some people know the exact moment of when to insert a comment, and they insert it and that shit just blows up. It's just so fucking funny. Like it was just the right timing and everything. And that's just so fucking funny. I looked at it and I was like, what? I was like, what? And he was like, oh yeah, the person might not even be alive. That was the perfect timing. That was the perfect timing. That was funny. That was funny as hell. That was funny as hell. That took me out. I'm gonna think about that now throughout the day. Oh, the person might not even be alive. That's gonna be shady. That's gonna be so shady for Spirit to hook you up with a spirit. Oh man. That was so fucking funny though, man. That was a good one. That was a good one. Whoever that was, that was a good one. That was a good joke. That was a really good fucking joke. That was the best one so far on this live. Perfect timing. It wasn't too much. It was easy and simple. Good delivery. Like that was good. That had me rolling. Yeah, because they might not even be alive. They might be dead. They might be a spirit. Doing these love spells, you might get a spirit. I like that. But yeah, spell work is key. And remember, a lot of these things, spell work and stuff like that, was created for the underprivileged. It's for the people that didn't have privilege in this land, that was always being passed over and stuff like that. And these rituals, it balanced the scales. It balanced the scales so that, we can have that too. We can have that life and everything too. So, I understand when white people get on here and they like, oh, you don't have to do all of that. That don't even make sense. You don't have to do it because you have the privilege. You have privilege in this, privilege in this earth. The highest privilege you can get, if you're a very good looking white man, the world is yours. The world is yours. If you're a very good looking, attractive white male, the world is yours. You own it all. You got everything. And then second under that is going to be if you're a very good looking white woman. But a good looking, well, technically that's not true, because the woman would be last. It would be a very good looking white male, and then it would be all the other white males. It could be nasty, trashy, growing up in the dumpsters, good looking, barely good looking, got a job, don't got a job, on drugs, alcoholics, going through addictions, the biggest whore, got STDs, got HIV, the slum of the earth, and then it's a beautiful white woman. So remember, you got to go through every category of the white male first. And then once you complete the white male, then it's the white woman. Then after that is the beautiful white woman. And so if you're a beautiful white woman, you are the elite out of all of the other women. And then from there, it breaks down to the crying Karen, to the screaming Karen, to the Karen that don't got no fucking sense. But that is the most powerful. The most powerful is a white man. Like if I see a white male especially a beautiful white male, if I see a white male that's practicing Ifa, hoodoo, voodoo, the first thing that's coming to mind is, oh, you trying to take over the world. Because you don't need this. You already have the highest earthly privilege there is. You know, why would you want spiritual as well? You know, if I see a very one of the major spiritual religions, my thing is, oh nigga, you looking for power. You're looking to take over the world. Like you're not doing this like the others. That it's the scripture that when you are weak, I am strong. And you notice that in these practices, the weak are the most powerful. It's the ones that has lost it all. The ones that has been betrayed, outcast. Their families have thrown them away. No one is talking to them. They're empty. They're lonely. They're depressed. And that's why every last one of these people went through a strong isolation awakening. It is the weak that is the most powerful in this religion. It was the one in the elementary class that everybody talked about. It was the one that everybody humiliated. That is the one that is the most powerful in these religions. Because that person went through something that they realized that the only person that they can depend on is God. And they got to a point at a very young age that they said, fuck human beings. Every last one of them. They're all the same. Every last one of you have the potential to betray, to kill, to steal, to destroy. All of you motherfuckers are evil. And it was that person that abandoned humankind, that don't want to fuck with people no more. They are the most powerful in this religion because they learned how to trust in God. When you have been put in a position that you have learned how to trust in God and that you cannot depend on man, you become very powerful in spiritual practices like these. Because it's not about the rituals and ceremonies you know. It's about that strong relationship that you developed. So many of you were blessed as kids to have you and nurture you because of all the things that you have been through. That Yemaya seen all of your hurt and all of your pain and how you could not depend on your parents and how you could not depend on your siblings and how you was the running joke of the family. And every single time when you cried yourself to sleep, it was Yemaya in that bed laying down with you. That you were resting on her bosoms. That you were crying on her bosoms. That she was the one that was protecting you, that she was the one that was guiding you, that she was the one that led you on the path that you were on to this very day, because she's seen the things that you went through. When you build a relationship like that, baby, no ritual, ceremony, or anything else can fucking touch you. You are blessed by the divine. You have been walking with the divine ever since you was a little kid and you didn't even know it. Some of you are very blessed and you don't realize how blessed you are, and you don't realize how these spirits have been walking with you for a very long time. I used to always wonder, ever since I was a little kid, Spirit used to always, it was always the worst guy that you can ever meet was always drawn to my energy. That he was the drug dealer. He was the he was the bully, he was the thug, he was where it's like, this is not the person I want to hang around. This is not the person that I want to be around. I'm like, people gonna start thinking that, that like I'm in your gang or that I'm, influenced by you. But every single time in elementary and high school, when I was in the Navy, Spirit always brung that guy that everybody was afraid of because everybody knew he was crazy. Everybody knew he was selling drugs. Everybody knew he was in a gang. Everybody knew he was this. That person was always drawn to my energy. And not always was that person drawn to my energy. That person was always a strong protector in my life. I can think back on countless times where when it was somebody that was trying to fight me on the bus, and this dude rose up, and everybody is like, okay, how do they know each other? These are two completely different things. People used to always look at me and tell me that I was going to be a pastor. So keep that in mind. People see me as like the nerd. Seeing me as like the little savior. And so people used to always say, oh, he's going to be a pastor when he grow up. And with him, they would always say, oh, he's going to be in somebody's prison. He's going to be in prison for life. And so when he stood up, everybody was like, that was odd. I would have never connected the dots that these two knew each other. And, the dude would, he was like, I'm going to tell you now, you hit him and I'm going to knock you the fuck out. And Spirit has always had somebody like that in my life. It was the same way in the military that, it was a group of people that was trying to jump me because I was getting on to the younger ones and telling them to stop being influenced by these guys that was telling them to sneak alcohol on the boat. And so it was a lot of bad people in positions that was telling the younger ones to sneak alcohol on the boat. And they were like, okay, we finna teach this little goody two-shoe a lesson. And so they were like, because it was me and my twin brother. And they were like, we're going to jump him. And this is going to send a message to somebody else that they're going to get out of our way. And, I was like, okay, I'm ready for it. Y'all finna jump. Y'all trying to jump me. I'm finna fight. You're like, don't think that I'm finna be this spiritual guy that I'm just finna let you punch me. Like, nigga, I'm finna try to kill as many as I can. And so, same way when I was on the boat, that, this dude that everybody feared, that everybody didn't want to fuck with, that nobody wanted to cross this dude. This dude was a crazy Jamaican from New York that nobody wanted to fuck this dude and cross over on this dude. That he came down to the berthing and he was like, oh, y'all trying to jump him? Oh, I'm in this fight. I'm on his side. Next thing you know, this dude starts swinging everybody in the berthing, start punching people and stuff. I didn't have to lay a hand on nobody. This dude handled the whole crowd. And mainly because majority of the people was afraid to touch him because of his connections and everything else. And so he sat there and beat the shit out of everybody right before my eyes. And so I started noticing the pattern that this has always happened in my life, that I had it in elementary, that I had it in high school, that I had it in the military. And I looked back and started to realize that was the energy of Ogun. Ogun has always been there to protect me. Ogun has always been there. Ogun is a very strong protector. And so, especially when you are protected, and keep in mind, I am not a child of Ogun. I'm just protected by Ogun. I am a child of Oya, and Chango is my daddy. Yemaya was the one that led me to the religion. Ogun is the one that has always showed his hand of protecting me. Ogun has never failed, and he has never left me. Ogun is the one Orisha that has always been there and that has always protected me in every which way. And Eshu is very important for me because he has a lot to do with my path. But it was Ogun Ogun is the one that has always been a very strong protector. And so those are the things that you want to pay attention to when you really start looking back on your life, when you start looking at those things that was different, that when you're a kid and stuff like that, you don't think about stuff like that because you think with a kid mindset. But as you get older, you start to look back and you start to say, that was very strange. Why was I connected with this person? Like, it doesn't make sense with my personality and this person's personality. What is being done here? And that's when you will start seeing the energy of the Orishas moving in some of your lives. And I can tell you now, I tell to everyone that the one kid that you don't want to mess with, you don't want to mess with a kid of Ogun or someone that is protected by Ogun. Ogun is a very powerful protector. And when you read Ogun Painted Keys, and this is the importance of reading the Painted Keys, of knowing the Painted Keys, because as you read the Painted Keys, you understand the Orishas. And in every last one of Ogun Painted Keys is act first, ask questions later. Ogun is always an energy that he will come down swinging. He will come down swinging. He will come down killing. He will come down creating sickness and everything else. And he will ask questions later. No, who did it? He'll ask questions later, but he will definitely come in and protect his people. Ogun that you want to fuck with. And see, that's the one thing I love about candles too. Remember, this is wax. All you got to do is burn the bottom part of the candle so that the wax can come running down, and then it acts as glue. It makes the candle stay still. But Ogun is a very strong protector. And Obatala was very important on my path too. So important that when I went to my first fake ritual, they told me that I was a kid of Obatala. And so, we got to be careful with that too, with some of you going to the wrong people. The only person that can tell you who your head Orisha is a Babalao. A spiritualist cannot do it. I cannot do it. I am not a Babalao. I am an Orisha priest, crowned Oya. Daddy is Chango. I am an Orisha priest. I am a spiritualist. I am a shaman. I am a healer. I am not a Babalao. I cannot tell you who your head Orisha is. No one can tell you who your head Orisha is but a Babalao. A Babalao must perform the ceremony in order to tell you who your head Orisha is. But all right, y'all, I'm about to do this ritual, and then I'm about to get some sleep. I'm really hoping to feel better. I'm about to get some sleep. I'm just gonna rest for the day. Oh, I really just need to rest for the day, cause that's what I need. I just need some rest. But all right, y'all. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Normally I would sing you out, but my voice not feeling good. I'm gonna probably be cracked up and stuff. So we'll just do cha cha cha, cha cha cha, cha cha cha, cha cha cha, cha cha, cha cha cha, cha cha cha. Obatala has been coming to be these past with you. Oh, good. Obatala is a really good Orisha. Now, remember, if Obatala is coming to you, and especially with children of Obatala, y'all can't do nothing. Obatala is the god of purity. You can't be having sex, and stuff outside of marriage like that. You shouldn't be drinking. You shouldn't be smoking. The one thing that I love about Ifa is that it made a lot of things make sense. Because I used to always wonder, like, I'm like, Lord, how is it that, like, some people can be the biggest hoe out here? Biggest hoe, sleeping with everything, getting fucked by everything, sucking everything, doing orgies and all types of stuff under this goddamn sun, and they get no STD, they get no HIV, nothing. And then you'll have one person that this is their first time having sex, and their first time having sex, they contracted HIV. And you like, what the fuck? Like, what type of system is this? But, the more you start learning about the Orishas, is that it's very important to know who your head Orisha is and to know what path you're on. Because although your head Orisha may be one Orisha, you may be walking the path of a completely different Orisha. And so, depending on who your head is, because the path is basically saying you are a reincarnation of this Orisha. And so I'm not a reincarnation of Oya. Oya is not my path. Oya is my head Orisha. But my path is not tied to Oya. Oya is just the person that is supposed to guide me on my path. And when you get your path, you better not tell anybody, because people can look up your path and see what the stumbling blocks are in your path and purposely put those stumbling blocks in your path. Because every Orisha has so many paths. And so even if, let's say, you're a path of Oya, you got to know specifically what path of Oya that person is walking, because every path is different. And so your path, it lets you know a lot. With some of your paths, it lets you know, like, there's certain areas you can't live because your energy doesn't match with that area. That there's certain foods you probably shouldn't be eating. That there's certain things that you can't do. There are certain colors you can't wear. And so it's very important to get that information. Learning the information about your path, to me, was the most important thing. I would rather know my information about my path than to know who my head Orisha is or any of that other stuff. It's important to know who your head Orisha and stuff is, but to me, the most important thing to know is your path. You need to know what reincarnation of the Orisha that you are in this life. That's what your path is. Your path is telling you who you are the reincarnation of. And when you know that, your path will tell you the challenges they face, the blessings that they experienced in their life, the things they should have avoided, the things they shouldn't have done. And so the more you know, the more it protects you on this earth. Because now you know, oh, so these are the things I'm going to be dealing with. This is why I always attract fake friends. This is why if I step out and have sex, I will get a consequence immediately just like that. This is why I cannot drink, but everybody else can. This is why I cannot fall into drugs. Because I feel sorry for anybody that is on a path of Obatala. Because a path of Obatala is righteous. Obatala is purity. Obatala is no mistakes and no failure. And so normally his children, as well as his path, is a path of purity that you cannot. You normally, his children can't drink, can't smoke, can't do drugs. And when they do, it's serious consequences that is tied to it. It's serious consequences that's tied to it. And so you really, I really do think that everybody should, if even if you don't want to know who your head Orisha is, to me the most important thing is everybody should know who what path they're walking. Everybody should know what incarnation of the Orisha they are experiencing in this earth. I think the best thing that I got out of all of the ceremonies was learning my path. My path explained so much about my life. It explained so much. And so that's the thing I encourage all of you. Go to a Babalao and find out who your head Orisha is and what path you are meant to walk.